Welcome to the Heat Speakers Podcast.
Welcome to the Heat Speakers Podcast, where passion meets purpose. Join your hosts, Real Estate Rich Jackson and Mortgage Mark. Welcome to the Heat Speakers Podcast, where passion meets purpose. Join your hosts, Real Estate Rich Jackson and Mortgage Mark.
Miss Unlikely Ambassador.
Yes, sir. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I'm blessed. Fresh from
Fresno.
No. Where'd you just come from right now?
Physical therapy.
Physical therapy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did better?
I am working towards Walk MS next Saturday.
What?
Yes.
Where is that at?
It's going to be in Sacramento. Fresno
How long
doesn't
is
have
this
one.
thing?
It is, well, depending on how long you walk. So it'll probably be a couple of hours on Saturday morning.
What?
Yeah, I'm excited. My physical therapist gave me the good news that she's coming to walk with me. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm very excited.
That's cool. So there's no limit, like no length of the walk. It's just.
They have
Is
two
it a
courses.
benefit or something? Is it? Are you raising?
Yes, so we're raising money to towards a cure for multiple sclerosis, and they have two courses, either 1 mile or 3 mile. I'm doing the 1 mile,
That's it.
and maybe next
Love
year
it.
3. So
Hey, that's
I'm
goals
excited.
right there.
I'm excited.
That's amazing because you're straight from physical therapy, your knee surgery on your knee leg, and you told your doctor, like, look, y'all got to do something because I have to go walk a mile, which is, they're like, what are you talking about? That's insane.
Yeah, both legs.
What's
so it was
the
a challenge.
inspiration to, like, what's pushing you to do that?
I would say for me, I have a history of multiple sclerosis.
No
so this
way, I didn't know
particular,
that.
most people don't. It's not necessarily something. Some people you can tell there's something if they're in a wheelchair or they have a walker, cane, or whatever. But there's some people you will never know because you don't know how hard they've been working to overcome whatever it might have been. So for me, the society has been such a blessing to my family over the years, providing like workshops and free resources and stuff like that. And I have participated in the walk for several years, whether I was like a captain or, and there was actually multiple times I couldn't walk. So I would volunteer in other ways, like I would be on their board or whatever else that I could do, like a volunteer at the volunteer table the day of or anything like that, just to be involved and be a part of it. But this year, I am able to walk it. I've got a team. We're raising money. And now my physical therapist is going to be there. So I am just very excited.
Are they going to be cheering you on too, huh?
She's going to be
walking with you.
me.
What? Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Man, so I assume you were born with it?
No, not at all.
I didn't know you can actually develop multiple sclerosis.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
For me, honestly, I've been involved, very active all my life. So it's not something that I ever knew about. It wasn't until I was working, kind of a stressful, high stress job. And one day I walked into work and my coworker looked at me and she said, Liz, you just don't look right. She said, you really need to get checked out. And at that point I was experiencing dizziness, something called drop foot. Like out of the blue, where like I would be walking and my foot, I just couldn't get one of them up. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Still trying to go as hard as I usually would go. But something was off. Like the dizziness was getting worse. I was feeling like the tingling. And I was even feeling like I was slurring. My balance was off. But it wasn't anything that I remember experiencing before.
Yeah.
And so my coworker, because she saw me every day, I took her advice. And during lunchtime, I went to the hospital. They thought I was experiencing paralysis because of how the numbness was moving up my legs and stuff.
Were you getting real nervous and scared?
No, I was actually more concerned about what it was.
Right.
And so they admitted me immediately. I never went back to that job. Like that's how serious it was. That's how quickly it happened. And it took me a while to recover from it. I had to go to UCSF. They finally, at that time it was the MS clinic, I think it still is, because they didn't have anything in the Valley that would do it. And that's where they diagnosed me. Over the years, I just feel really blessed. A lot of people get worse, but I've been getting better.
Wow.
Yeah. So
You're a rare case.
I am a rare case. Even when I would go to the workshops, when there was a society in Fresno, I had a group we call ourselves the Orange Sisters because orange is the MS color. And so the group of us, I was the only one of color who was in the group. I couldn't find anybody of color who had that experience that was talking about it.
Right.
But I was interested in learning about it, not for the sake of dealing with it, but overcoming it.
Gotcha.
And so I wanted to learn more about it so I could understand not only how to pray about it, but what I would need to do to get past it.
Yeah.
And so I learned I worked myself back up to being able to work again, from a like an on-call job where I could sit up in a chair that didn't require a lot from me to getting off of a walker. I was in a wheelchair for just a little bit. Had to learn how to talk again because it hit my nerves in my face.
No way.
I wasn't able to smile.
What?
I wasn't able to, I stuttered all the time. My hands actually turned up. It was interesting. And each time that I had a flare up, it would hit a different part of my body.
Right.
So when I share people about MS, I tell people, I said, those who've had it or had a history of it, which I like to say, is they're some of the most resilient people you'll ever meet, even if you can't tell anything's wrong, because the work that they do every day to overcome whatever's going on that day is amazing. And for a certain period of time, I would say a couple years, every day I would wake up and be something new.
Is it painful?
It depends on where it's hitting you. For me, mine was in my spine. Ooh. And so it would make walking and just doing things very, very hard. When I had the lesions that I would have in the brainstem or in the frontal lobe, those made it hard to do things like thinking, talking, speaking. You have headaches and different stuff that would come with that. And so for me, I tell people in life, I don't have a problem with starting over because I started over with MS every single day for a long period of time. So I honestly think the Lord allowed me to experience that.
Right.
And I was not one who liked change.
Yes.
But you would give me that? Because it's nothing but change.
Right.
Nothing but change.
Yeah.
But, I'm grateful to the Lord where I'm at now. And I think it also has to do with how you change your mind. Because I remember sitting in the groups with my Orange Sisters, and we all had stuff going on. And majority of our conversations would be about the doctors and would be about the medications and all that. And at some point, I realized I couldn't talk about it anymore because I wanted to overcome it. And so I had to change my conversation. And when I was able to change my conversation, my mind changed. And when I had a particular, I was doing like a personal Bible study in my room, and that was a time when I couldn't really walk well. And I was reading about they were healed as they went. And I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, I know you can do that in the Bible. I would like to experience that, to heal as I go. And I have found that over the years that I've been really blessed to overcome each time I've had a flare-up.
Right.
And people, when they look at me, they would never know what it has taken for me to get to this point. And I'm not only proud of it, but I'm excited. And I know it's the Lord, though.
100%. And a lot of the reasons, you were given that, and people go through certain diseases or things, struggles in their life, is I feel a couple of different reasons, right? Like the Lord wants us to shape us and to mold us to who He wants us to be and who we're supposed to be, and to learn something from that whole process. And even just as importantly, to understand we need Him to get us through it, right? And then with the Lord's help and guidance, we can get through anything.
Yes.
And even through that, we're going to become a whole different person, right?
Yes.
Through the whole process. So it's hard in the moment, though. When you're going through it, you're going through the challenges. It's like a lot of times it's like, why me? Why me? What did I do to and then you start feeling resentment and things like that. But if you look at it the way it should be looked at, life gets so much better and easier. You can deal with anything, Yeah, I had those low moments, so I don't want anyone to think I didn't. Right. Because I didn't even know what it was. Right.
And I couldn't find anyone of my skin color until much later who was experiencing it. And so I felt very lost for a while. I talked to the Lord a lot, but when I talk to the Lord, I actually have conversations with Him like, what is this?
Sure.
Like, I liked my job. Like, why would you take me out? Like, what And I was a leader in my church at that time too. So I was still trying to do the leadership role, and I had to let it go at one point because inflammation was a big thing, and a lot of the stress factors to it would make me worse, but I didn't know it yet. And so certain things, the Lord really showed me how to let go, because that would be the thing that would allow me to get better. But I didn't understand that. I didn't know. You know, so I'm just trying to do my regular things, trying to lead the youth group from the bed. Right?
Sure. And that's it. Like I just it's so amazing how the Lord works, because like when you really have faith, He's going to give you these issues, give you these problems, and then once you get through it, you're going to be you're going to understand it, right? And be grateful that you went through it, because, man, you didn't know what we didn't know. Right. And it took this situation, this struggle, for you to even get on the other side, to be a different person, to grow in your spiritual growth, mental, physical, all the above. And it just reminds me, as the person in the Bible who dealt with the most at one time and couldn't understand that, which is Job. Yeah. So I don't think nobody got it ever worse in history.
I don't think so.
Than Job did, and all in one day, right?
Yeah, man.
So, and again, going through it, he didn't realize it, understand it, but after he went through everything, he was even more prosperous, more joyful than he had ever been prior to having everything, right? Even though he lost it all, he had to go through it to develop and grow, and allow God to work on his heart, and so he can understand the meaning of life and what his purpose is, and how he should be basically looking at life and living with the Lord, you know, guiding him.
Yeah, and I would say too, one of the reasons that I want to continue to be involved with the National MS Society is not only because they gave back, but my pastor at the time, at the onset of it, just learning about it, he said something like very powerful to me, and I won't forget it. He said, it was Pastor Tobias Brookins, and he said, when you get better, when the Lord heals you, when you get better, make sure you don't turn your back on the people you were with. And so that stayed with me, because a lot of times the Lord will do great things for us. We will overcome a situation, or we'll get better, or maybe we didn't have money and we have money now, or whatever the case is. We can forget, and we can turn our back on the people that we started with or were in that struggle or journey with. And I think for me, participating in the walk and raising money for the walk, and even part of the whole creation of the Unlikely Ambassador platform is to give back in some way, is to highlight those struggles, but as well as the stories where people overcame what it was. So it's all connected.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. I was going to jump into that. Let's talk about who you are, what your brand is.
Okay.
We know your name is Elizabeth Lafall, but on Instagram and what your brand is, The Unlikely Ambassador. I love that title.
Yes.
Tell people, what is that? What is it?
Okay.
What's the meaning behind it? Purpose?
I think people will be surprised how it came about. I know I was. So it started because health coach Rochelle T. Parks, I was taking one of her programs, and she's well known by a lot of people. And one of the product line that she uses, has been using for years, is Shackley. And Shackley is a health and beauty brand.
Okay.
And so I learned about it and was really interested in it, because one of the very important things is things that add to you and that work at the cellular level. And I was and we talked about the different ingredients and the purity of all that, whatever. So it was something I started using. And I was a member for probably a year or so. And then the opportunity was introduced to me to be a brand ambassador. And I immediately said no, because of my limited belief, personal limited belief.
Right.
I was like, I don't look like anything like people who would be, promoting health and beauty and wellness, anything.
Sure.
I just didn't see myself like that. And I felt convicted after a while of thinking that way and said, wait a minute, you're the one who's using these products. And I started thinking about it, that I had a love-hate relationship with the health and beauty brand industry anyways, because all these years, because I've always been plus size, even when I was in sports and different things, you would have people who approach you for different things because of your size, but it was to like market and to make money off of you type of a thing.
Right.
And then I also had an issue with the health and beauty industry because they would put celebrities up there. They would always have a certain look of a person that would be promoting that. But then over the years, when I would get close to the ambassador or learn more about the ambassador, one, they didn't even know anything about the product. They had reached whatever their health goal was before they became engaged with this. Or three, they were either approached by someone or they applied for the job to promote it after they already looked a certain way. And that was a complete turnoff to me.
Gotcha.
And I said, you know what? Why not become the unlikely ambassador for this? I'm actually using the products to reach my goals.
Sure.
And I really feel like the industry, if they use the people to promote who actually use the stuff,
That makes sense.
you know, they would really, I think, win people over.
Right.
You know?
1,000%. And then, you know, people, it's real and authentic. It's like, oh, this person was this way, but then by using the product 6 months down the road, look at them now, look how they've changed. How has it so far, like, what does it do for you? Like, and how has it affected you so far since you've been using it? What changes have you seen?
One of the first things that we were asked to try was the multivitamin to find something that worked for us. This is Vitally. This is the one I'm currently using, and they actually have it in the gummy. But the reason I wanted to bring the multivitamin is that because of the type of food that we're eating currently, we're never going to get all of our vitamins and nutrients just because the way stuff is formed now. It's not the same.
Oh, man, we don't know what we put in our bodies right now.
Exactly. And so we're always going to have some kind of nutrient deficit. But the multivitamin, finding the right one for you, we have the men and women, but and children too. But you want to find the one that works for you, that has what you need, and especially as you get older,
Right.
you need a little bit more in some little different areas.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And so for me, I think it's a good base. It gives me energy.
Okay.
And I've seen the difference, and the quality is a big one too. One of the things that Coach Rowe, I learned in the class is always look at the labels and understand what it is that you're reading, because one of the supplements I had considered at first, it had so much sugar in it.
No way.
It was like completely would defeat the whole purpose.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just looking at that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It looks like you got some shake or a drink over there. I'm just
do.
like
I do.
I'm looking at that. I'm like, man, I want to taste that.
Okay.
What is it?
This is one of our most popular. This just came out. Was it this year or the end of last year? This is called the Shaklee Protein drink, and it's for all of those who are on these GLP-1. And the thing about taking those injections, if they're trying to lose weight and stuff like that, you start to not get the protein you need.
Gotcha.
So this is protein in a drink.
Protein in the drink.
Yeah.
What other ingredients does it
that.
offer in there? Like, is it just protein? That's all I'm getting out of it, or is it like not going to give me no energy or anything like that? Just
you got the protein. You have got natural flavor, citric acid,
looks like it's
monk fruit, because you know monk fruit is really good for you.
I don't even know what monk fruit is. Monk fruit?
Monk fruit. It's a healthy fruit. Yeah, you should try it.
Yeah.
So it is 0 grams of sugar, which is really big to most people.
Okay.
Because if you're drinking sugar,
yeah, I mean, you might as well drink a soda or something that's horrible for you. And I just found out today, a lot of these companies like food industry companies and sodas and all that, a lot of them are owned by cigarette owners.
Really?
Those that own cigarette corporations now are taking over the food and beverage industry.
that's disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is what I heard. Again, I need to fact check it, but that they found out how addictive cigarettes are and they know what to put in. So the whole thing is about addiction, right?
Yes.
So they got people hooked on cigarettes by whatever addiction they put in. So now they're getting people hooked on the food.
People are hooked on McDonald's.
There you go. So they know what to put inside the food to make people addicted to keep selling more. So it's just so crazy, man. Yeah, man. The food industry is just a whole different ballgame, man. We got to be very careful what we eat, what we drink. That's why I'm excited to try stuff like this.
Yeah, this one's for
I can
you.
have some of this?
Yeah.
Is it
You
good?
can try that. I think it is. To me, it has a lemony taste, but you would have to try it.
Oh, we're here promoting Shaklee. There we go. I need a check. It is promotion, free promotion.
Yes.
Where are they from? Do you know where they're from? They're not local, are they?
You talking about the company?
Yeah, the company.
Yeah, they are local.
They are local.
They're in California.
Okay.
based in
I
California.
support California. I've never heard of this. Are they in store? Where can I do they have to
Through me. You can get it through
gotta
me.
go and we're gonna give you your contact. You can holler out your Instagram if you want to.
You can follow me at the Unlikely Ambassador on Instagram or Facebook. Also, I have an online store too, storefront, and the address is on both of those social media pages.
Right, the Unlikely Ambassador. Yeah. Okay, so here's a first taste test, and this is raw,
and you're gonna tell the truth.
Like if it's not right, my face gonna show it. But I'm gonna keep it real. Let's go. Shaq Lee, you better don't fail me.
Okay.
Shaq. I almost thought about Shaq, the basketball. Maybe Shaq should get a sponsorship.
Okay.
As I'm over here stalling.
Yeah, and Shaq Lee's been around a really long time too. A lot of people may not have known about it, but it's one of the first.
Okay.
It's a lemon taste.
I love lemon.
Oh, okay, that's good.
My first thing was fruity, very fruity, but it's lemon.
Mm-hmm. And the good thing about this is people don't realize anytime you introduce an injection or you're taking a pill for whatever, there's some kind of deficit you're going to have.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that they're not getting the protein with those injections. This is giving you, I believe it's 40 grams of protein in just a drink. So
wow.
And it's been very, very popular. Lots of people. I'll just share a little bit more too.
Yeah. Tell us what it's got.
I also take the triple defense boost. And this is like you taking vitamin C or any type of thing to help you, to keep your immunity going.
Gotcha.
But I like just to put this in my 16 ounce of water in the morning because I like to drink water as soon as I get up.
Yeah.
So I'll put this mix in it. I'll put some collagen in it because it helps with your bones.
Sure. And your skin too, right?
Skin as
makes
well.
that glow.
Yeah.
That glow.
The electrolyte hydration and focus drink mix. I like to use this in the morning too because I find that I'm like sharper mentally and the hydrate. Right. Especially if I'm about to do a workout or something.
Sure.
So I will either put in the drink mix or I'll put in the Energize pre-workout drink.
Got it.
Yeah. So we have just so many things. We also have things for the home. We also have face products as well.
Okay.
They have a cleanser line that I use that I absolutely love, and I see the difference in my skin.
Yeah, you glowing up here.
Thank you. I'll take it. I receive it. Thank you, Shaq Lee. And water and changing my diet.
How long have you been using this product, Shaq Lee?
Oh my goodness, it's been a year and a half, and I've been an ambassador maybe 6 months.
Okay, just recently.
Yeah, but I wanted to do the Unlikely Ambassador because I know when people look at me, she's doing health and beauty. You better believe it.
There you go. Right.
So I had a change of mind.
That's it.
And that's why I'm here. And I want to share too. When you look at my page, you'll say I see faith and wellness.
Yes.
Well, I started with the wellness part because of what I was personally going through and wanting to give people not just encouragement, but a chance to have a transparent community talking about the wellness. But for me, because faith is just as important, I felt like the Lord was helping me to bring them both together. And so when you see the page, when you see the platform, what I'm working on, it is a combination of faith and wellness.
Definitely.
Because the Lord has allowed me to meet all different types of people in this last year, from the male prostitute, from the
who?
Male prostitute.
What's that? You thought you was in a breeze by that. I'm like, nah, wait, well, hold on.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
You interviewed a male prostitute?
I have been able to talk to them from someone
on your platform.
No, not on my platform yet.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is because I've been able to meet just a variety, it's unusual to meet just so many different kinds. So I remember talking to him and he was giving me his story of recovery. Whoa. And I was listening to another who is still overcoming schizophrenia.
Wow.
And just I had never met anyone up close and personal.
Sure.
But what I thought was interesting is when we first talked, they came off almost very robotic, and it was caused by the medicine that they were taking. But interesting enough, when we would do the one-on-one, they became very person-like, very human-like.
Sure.
So it was almost based on their environment. Right. And so I thought that was just so interesting. And then talking to other people, different types of recovery, substance abuse, all that kind of stuff. The homeless person who's recovering, and begin to tell me their story. And so this last year has been opened up my eyes to so much that it really wanted to gave me a passion to talk about wellness and what recovery looks like in its different phases.
Right.
So you could be recovering from a surgery. You could be recovering from mental health,
Sure.
which is something that is still taboo in a lot of places. And I honestly feel that everyone has had a moment where they needed to get their mind right. And so I believe that was something where I was really feeling led to talk about a lot, because with all the stuff happening in the world today,
Yeah.
people are looking for help. They're looking for hope.
Definitely.
And this was a platform that was started to hopefully to answer.
I love it. I love it. So it would have been amazing to get those on camera or actual interviews in person. Like, like people could use that inspiration and just learn so much from that, and just to kind of open people's eyes to what's out there and how many people really need help.
Yes.
Spiritual healing is the most important.
And even in the church, we need help.
I was go get there later, but since we're already talking about that, so you grew up in the church.
I did, born and raised.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
In the church. So that means Sunday through Sunday, something's going on.
Yes, all the time.
Church shoes, church dress,
Everything.
all that.
Everything. And because,
Choir.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Choir. I was usher board president before I was 10.
Man.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't one. I knew I used to always go. Like my mom would take me to a Baptist church, and for some reason it was always crowded and hot. I remember that it was really hot, small, and a lot of shouting. But even worse, there was unfortunately what turned. Listen. What I realized now as an adult of why back then I didn't understand it is because you would hear, unfortunately, a lot of the church-going women, whether they're on the nursing guild or whatever service they're doing, you would hear whispers and talks and, talking about other people that are in church, like, oh, look what they got on, or how did they come up in here looking like this, and just it was really judgmental, right? Early on, and so, but without that understanding, you don't realize that that's not what it's about, right? That's not what Christ came here to do, to teach us the gospel. That's not the way, basically, and obviously now I look back, those people were, because there's a lot of people that go to church all day, every day for 20 years, Sunday through Sunday, and they are the same person they are, when they first went, right? There was no growth,
right?
They're cussing and doing everything wrong still. They're not really living the life. It hasn't affected them at all. And, but then on the other side, I've seen personally firsthand, my good buddy was a non-believer forever, came to Christ about a year ago, and he is like the most involved, he's living the word. He's doing, he is just,
he's transformed.
He is a true ambassador of the kingdom. He is living what, as far as I can see, and just everything about him. So there's those two different sides of it, right? Yeah. And it comes through a lot. But since you had said something about, I know, what have you have you seen a difference or something like that, like hypocrisy in that sense?
Oh yeah, but you know what? I think what it is that somehow people are forgiving and understanding of hypocrisy in the world, but when it comes to the church, because there's a different standard that's expected, when you see the hypocrite, you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because there is a hypocrite in every organization, in every industry. There is a hypocrite. There is someone who is not representing well.
Right.
And unfortunately, we have had, and I'm talking about the church when I say we, I think we've had some public misrepresentations, which has hurt us quite a bit. But for everyone that you meet, no matter how many that are misrepresenting, there is somebody.
Oh yeah,
that is, representing, and I think also too, you bring up a good point when you shared about your friend and his transformation. I think there's a difference. Well, not think, but I know there's a difference in the professing to be something and actually being it.
Yeah.
Because to me, what really makes us disciples and the light for others to read is when we don't have to say anything and people know there's a difference. I think for whatever reason, we feel like we have to talk about it more.
Yeah.
But I feel like if people cannot experience you and know there's a difference, and I think that's the issue right there.
That's telling.
Before you say anything, someone should be able to say there's something different about so and so. I don't know what it is, but I'm curious about it. And I think too that one thing that may not have been taught in the past, I see more ministries and more spiritual communities talking about it now, is there's a difference between going to church and living a life.
Yes.
Because if you can't make it to church, as we found out in COVID, especially in California, not all states had that experience, but if you can't get to the church through the church doors, can you still live the life?
That's it. And people, I wish more people understood that. So a lot of people, and I'm not pointing fingers because I was in the same boat until, you don't know until you go through something and grow in your spiritual growth. But it's that a lot of people look at it like a checklist. I used to be one of those.
Me too.
Once a year, Easter Sunday, rushing to church, leaving church thinking I did something and like, oh shoot, I'm good now, and going right back to the regular life. Because again, it's there's a lot of reasons for that. It's not taught. The average person is not brought up and understands even what the Bible is about. Better yet, what the real walk with Christ looks like, right? And how to go to God. And a lot of people say, oh no, I gotta get right. I'm not ready. I got too much going on. I'm doing too much bad. I can't come to Christ yet. But that's the complete opposite. Like, no. Do you know who Jesus spent most of his time with? Like, the prostitutes, the ones they consider low life, right? Like it's like you go to a doctor when you're sick. Right. So all the sins, all the bad things you're doing, no, he understands. You need to talk to him right now because the only way to get through that is with his help. And he wants you to go to him to help you through that.
Exactly.
But a lot of people aren't taught that. And what I noticed, a lot of churches I went to, it's a lot of preaching, a lot of hooting and a lot of this and that, but you're not really you're not being taught. And I've learned there are different ways to as a pastor, to spread the word to the congregation. Some could take it as like the Tony Robbins aspect where you're just like, you're feeling good. It's like motivational and you leave church feeling great. Yeah. But did you really learn anything? Did it really draw you closer to God or Christ to understand what the walk is and what it's about? Or, then there's those that really teach you the word, what it means, breaks it down so you can really get the concept of each story and the meanings and the deep, and
understanding
and reveal the layers, because there's so many layers to the stories and scripture. It's just so much wisdom, so much everything that I feel is like left out a lot of times.
Yeah, to continue to your perspective on that, I think that if you think about it, Sunday morning will always be well attended more than Bible study, always, or even life groups. And I think that as a whole, when people think of church, they think about Sunday. They don't necessarily think about study. They don't actually think about.
But shouldn't Sunday be equivalent to a Bible? Like, shouldn't a pastor, even on Sunday, present the word to where the congregation is understanding, like giving the message, the real meaning, and breaking down the message in each sermon? So that way they are walking away with not just feeling good, but like, oh, I never knew why this happened in the Bible, or this story I never knew the true meaning of that story. I never, it's like, I think it should always be some education, because we need that, because most people don't read the Bible.
Right. I do think it should be that, but I do think also too, most leaders in the church are aware of the appetite of the parishioners, the people who are coming on Sunday. They don't want to come to study. They don't want to come to go in depth. They're there for a little bit, and then they have the other things that they planned on a Sunday. But when you find those who are really serious about their walk, those are the ones that are showing up for Bible study because they want to know more. So I think that's also a gauge for us personally in our walk. Do I want to know, or I'm just okay with what I've been doing? You know what I'm saying?
But then that person will never change, It's never going to hit you. It's never going to, like, Jesus came to give us the baptism of the heart. And that will never happen if you're just there just to feel good on a Sunday. Exactly. So then, and no one's going to really reach their true salvation on earth, like living a great joyful life on earth while we're here and representatives of the kingdom, you're not going to get all the benefits that can be offered because you're not walking the obedient route because you don't know.
Yeah. And
we're not knowing.
But I think that's where we come in because personally, I feel like we put so much pressure on Sunday morning, and we put a lot of pressure on the leaders too, to do everything that person needs in an hour. And I believe that's where the people in the pews, that's where I come in. That's where discipleship comes in.
Right.
That's where say for instance, that first time visitor or the person who comes, but they only come on a holiday. It's that person who will invite them and say, hey, you know what? I know it's not Easter. I know it's not Christmas. But hey, have you thought about coming with me to women's group or men's group or whatever? Or, hey, would you love to spend this holiday with my family and getting to know the people that you would just see in church? Because I think that's where that interest in learning more and understanding relationship comes in. Because if all you see is what happens on a Sunday morning, you don't see people throughout the week. Like you don't see them overcoming the hard things and how their relationship helped them to overcome. And I think that's also why a lot of believers, a lot of people who call themselves a Christian can go to church, but the first time something hits them, they completely fall apart because there is no resilience there. There is no digging in deep. There is no relationship with God. It's literally, I know the people I go to church with when I go, but outside of the church service, I don't have anything to hold on to.
Like
There's
the parable
no anchor.
of the parable of the seeds. That's what that was about, right?
Yeah.
Like what type of soil are you going to be, and where is your seed gonna,
And then I'll also add too, I love talking to young people. I've worked with them for many years, and I think one of the things I used to love talking to them about is the fact that a relationship with God is like any other relationship, and if we say it's important to us, you got to invest in it. It doesn't happen just by thinking about it.
Right.
You actually have to do what it takes to get to know the Lord more. And if his word is a representation of him, I'm trying to learn everything about him.
Man.
So I'm reading the word. I am listening to people who teach it. I'm listening to my pastor on Sunday. I am associating myself with people who are where I'm trying to get in faith, in faith, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so you actually have to put work into it.
Yep.
And if you don't put the work into it, what is it that you're expecting?
Right. Yeah, we get in our way to the fact to where, like you said, we just expect it. And I was trying to think of the word I was looking for, but I can't think of it.
Assume, I don't know.
Assume, but it's like, we just expect something to be a certain way, right? Like if we pray something, we're expecting it to be over with or it to come true the next day, like that quick. And that's not how God operates. It's not. You just don't go to him when you're in trouble and need something. He
wants
relationships, and that's the story. That's life, though. Life is business. Anything is relationships, man. That's why we're here, to help each other out, to build relationships. Like everyone has certain gifts that another person doesn't have, and we're supposed to work together to be one unit, and so much more can be done.
And I think also too, we have to get over trying to compare God to personal experience, because it doesn't work. Like for instance, my dad was amazing. He's been gone for many years.
He was amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, I don't.
You were on that.
I don't want to confuse. I don't want to confuse nobody. He's not amazing, but amazing.
Amazing.
Well, my dad was amazing, but
Zing, Zing.
Gotcha.
But no, he was amazing. I was blessed to have him in my life for many years before he died and stuff. But for me, understanding the love of a father naturally is very easy. So I don't have a problem with transferring and understanding when I hear about the love of our Heavenly Father. Right. Some people will struggle with the love thing because they didn't have a good relationship with their family, that's right? Real. Or just they've had relationships, they just didn't feel loved.
Sure.
So there are certain concepts we talk about in the church and in our relationship with God that people need help to really understand that how God loves us, and that He wants us to come as we are. Especially if you grew up in a community or family where you had to perform everything.
Right.
So you feel like you have to do this for God, and He's like, I didn't ask you for that. So it's really that's why the Bible talks about be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You know
Romans 12:2.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
So but I mean, I think that's what holds us up in our relationship with God is trying to liken God to the stuff that we've seen or experienced. And and everyone's different, a different place.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. The people understood the Bible, the word, like get the King James Bible. I'm not there yet. Right. So I'm just being real because I read
NIV, what you do?
Yeah, NLT, NIV guys, like that's the easiest translation. So you can, because the biggest challenge for most people and myself was I just didn't understand what it was. Right, because it's the old language, thy, thou, this. We're just like I don't get it, and I'm still, even though I've gone through the Bible a couple times, the NLT, NIV. I still, I'll read King James, and I still get kind of. I might have to go read the other version just to understand it because it's more about understanding than anything. So if you can't understand what you're reading, there's no transformation that's going to happen in your life.
That's so good.
Because you gotta know what it's talking about to accept it, to believe it, and then to be like, okay, I need to try to follow this because now I understand if I do this, this is going to happen. This outcome will happen, and it's been proven in every story in the Bible. Speaking of which, who do you relate to the most? You feel that was in the Bible, in Scripture, in the Word, like out of all the stories, all 66 books.
Wow, that is so good.
Probably never thought about it.
I have thought about it, and I've noticed that it's changed.
And it doesn't have to be a female, right?
Yeah, but I found it's changed over the years.
Okay.
I would say my go-to has always been Elizabeth in the Bible.
See, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And your name's Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
For most people, probably don't know who Elizabeth was. So you want to kind of...
Mary's cousin, Mary, the mother of Jesus. Elizabeth was the one who would have John the Baptist.
John the Baptist.
Who was a forerunner of
And John
Jesus.
the Baptist was... This is for people who kind of like not really don't get it. The way the line, how it worked, what John the Baptist and
he is known as the mouthpiece that in the wilderness that would tell other people Jesus is coming.
There you go.
He was some people called him like a wild guy. Didn't have the best look to him, but he had the voice, he had the passion, and
he was in them streets, to break it down in our term.
Yeah, he was
in those
the
streets putting the word out like, hey,
yeah, he was paving
coming.
the way. Yeah, back in the day they would call what do you call them, the messengers. Sometimes when you think back in the day you had somebody who was on horse going from place to place telling people he wasn't on a horse, but he was telling everybody who would listen about Jesus coming.
Right.
And Elizabeth was the mom, and so Mary came to Elizabeth while she was pregnant. And they had some time together, and they just had like an awesome account. When I see Elizabeth, I see her as someone who was able to, what would you call it? She was able to not house, but encounter different people, specifically Mary, the mother of Jesus of all people. She was able to be in her presence and was able to support her in the way that she needed.
Right.
Both of them were carrying men who would deliver the word.
Right.
And to me, that's really big for women, especially in the church, to realize that we birth things, to understand our place, our purpose in birth things. And it's not just naturally, but spiritually.
Right.
And how our prayer and how our words can really shape things and make things come to pass. And I just think it's just a beautiful story of two women that were able to support each other, going through similar instances, and Elizabeth being able to serve Mary, who I believe was younger, but who would be the mother of Jesus.
Right.
I think that's just such an honor, and I do believe relate to her because my name means oath to God. Oath to God.
Oath to God.
Yeah, it's a couple of different ones, but that was the one. It was oath covenant
Sure.
to God. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I see it. I see it. So let me ask you, it's amazing. What is your goal with the company? What is your, I know you got a podcast, and so you can catch a podcast, and it's on your Instagram, right? You're doing a Zoom, and I just interviewed, you just had me on it. Thank you.
Coming
again.
out in May.
Check it out. Check it out, guys. She's interviewing me. I'm on her show. But you got big plans though. Like this is you just getting started. I feel like what's your like next? Give it a year out. Where are you going to be in a year out from now?
An established podcast, as we talked about.
Okay,
but definitely, without giving away too much, I definitely want to offer more insight into the backgrounds of those in the Bible that we're highlighting. And so since December, we've been highlighting someone like every couple of months, a different one. Like we're finishing up with Moses right now. Okay. And every person that we discuss, talk to, are incorporated into the podcast. But also there are other, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a graphic, maybe it's a writing, but it gives insight into the person we're talking about, into their struggle. To me, it's important to highlight the struggle so that we see how they overcame it and how God played a role in it. Because I believe that it goes back to something you said earlier, when people don't know and they don't understand, they're not going to practically apply it. And although they read a great Bible story, or though they went to church on Sunday, when that thing hits them on Wednesday, they don't know how to apply it. And so I want people to not only know that they're supported, to raise awareness about health, about faith. And in my own part, I want to contribute to shaping and forming people to be more resilient because the world is getting harder. Yeah. And we need people who can step up to the plate. Yeah. Who love God.
And it's getting harder and it's getting easier at the same time. It's getting harder, I feel, and I want to hear your take on it, because I feel like the spiritual war is intensifying more. There's a lot more people suffering with, that are being attacked by the enemy in multiple different ways. A lot of mental illnesses are developing more, and people I see. There's a sentiment or a sense of a lot of people are just not too happy. Cause I deal with a lot of people in what I do. So and even just walking around, people just don't seem the most up spirit, right? But it's on the other side, I say it's getting easier in some aspects because we have technology and AI, which can be utilized in our businesses or daily usage to help assist us do certain tasks and things like that, to where it's automated and we can kind of. So I don't know. What is your take on where are you seeing how things are getting a little bit tougher?
I think it's tougher because of the world around us. I want to say externally on the outside, things are just louder. We have access to so much. It's so much easier to get distracted. Sure. It's harder if you really don't choose a wellness plan for yourself. It's really hard to stay focused. You're getting hit by more and more all the time just because the information is more accessible. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, we didn't have, when there wasn't social media and all that, you didn't know what people were eating and what people were going through. I mean, everything now instantly. Yeah. So that's just so much different. But it's going to take somebody who's very focused and who is taking care of themselves regularly, which is where the wellness part comes in. Sure. To be able to keep that good head on their shoulders, to be able to reach whatever goal they are, and to just be able. I liken it to the Matrix because it's one of my favorite movies. But like how Neo is dodging the bullets and stuff, and that's what I really see now coming. Having to dodge the things that come left and right, just to keep your mind, just to keep your sanity.
It's so much noise and it's so much information that it can be hard to decipher what's real, what's not, what's true,
Yes.
what's good for you, what's
Yes.
not good for you.
Yes.
Even worse right now is the algorithm.
Yes.
Is that whatever you're looking at, you're going to just see more of that.
Of that.
So if you're looking at something from a negative perspective, whether what's going on with the world, you watch one video, the rest of your feed's going to be that. And so now it's breaking down your mental. Now you're thinking like, oh, it's over with, the world's crumbling, when no, that was just because you. So I think it's a huge responsibility of the algorithm, these companies, these platforms, because we're gonna keep seeing more depression, more things happening because of what people are watching the most, not realizing, oh no, just look at a good video, a positive, uplifting video. So now maybe the next 5 to 10 videos are positive, right? And now you have a balance.
Yes.
But
and then I think too, for those going back to faith, for those who have never experienced the Lord as a mind regulator, I want to talk about that too. That's where that mental health part comes in. That comes where the wellness comes in, and that relationship with God part, me pushing that.
Yes.
Because until you get to the relationship part, God is just like somebody else.
right.
But when you the closer you get and you have a relationship, you realize like, oh my gosh, my time with the Lord, my study, that helps to regulate my mind.
For real.
And then I begin to understand that His Spirit is guiding me when I don't know what to do or I don't understand. But it's because of the relationship.
That's it.
That's when you start experiencing those
That's
things.
why it's so important, guys, to have that, because what's going to happen, everything I was just talking about, like the wars and everything going on in the world, you have that relationship. You're going to have the wisdom and the peace to understand, like, oh yeah, I'm not worried about none of this. For one, it's all predicted. It's in Scripture. It tells us what's going to happen and what signs to look out for.
Right.
So that just means we're here, but we're good. I'm good. Like He's going to protect me. I have nothing to worry about. Like you don't get that sense of peace and kind of relaxation and ease without really knowing what's in the Word and having that relationship.
Right.
And which He gives you the more obedient you are with God and the stronger the relationship, He's just going to give you more wisdom, more understanding, and you're going to see life so much clearer. Like you're going to see right through a lot of situations. I see God using that person for this. I get what's going on, right? Like from the president on down, right? Yeah. So let's end on that. Okay. What you think about Trump's picture? The picture that was? Did you see that they drew a picture? Someone drew a picture of him. I guess supposedly Red Cross, but it looked like he was playing Jesus and helping someone else, and he had angels in the back. You
I saw it,
yeah. But then his excuse was he thought he was just a what was it? One of those workers, those like a doctor, FEMA or whatever. That's what in his mind he's just, I was just I thought it was a picture of me being a doctor helping somebody. I don't know if you have thoughts on that. What takes? That's just very interesting, though.
I think satire is something we do with every leader. I think we always take a liberty to draw something about somebody. I think that his following, I think, did see him as Jesus. I've seen other things like that out there, and I do think that people who are very passionate of whoever it is that they've put their trust in do see them in godlike ways many times, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
People do feel that way. And even if he was a doctor, neither one are true.
Right.
So to me, it's just satire. To me, it was just a cartoon type of drawing because he's not a doctor and he's not God. So,
right.
I just...
And they can play with him if they want to play with God. If they want to. Shoot, I'm not doing it. That's... it's never going to end well,
But I could see him bringing a smile to his face, seeing the picture.
Yeah, I mean, he's full of, I mean, he thinks, so he thinks so much highly of himself, but you're never God. And just, we just don't want people never to idolize anything but God. And if you read the Bible, you'll see how many times the Israelites or just even greats in the Bible end up going a different route, idolizing other gods, false gods, and what happened with them.
Yeah, because even our passion for politics, no matter what side you land on, it can become an idol. I'm so glad you brought that up. And as a believer, we have to realize that too.
Yeah, you can idolize so much, so easy, and not even realize it. Husbands idolizing their wives, wives idolizing their husband, idolizing the kid, idolizing that. And sometimes God will like, okay, keep doing it. All right, well, we're gonna have to separate you right now,
Right?
Because I need you to lock in what I got for you. And in the moment it feels horrible because it's like, oh, why do you take me from her or him? Like, but you gotta understand there's a reason.
There's a reason behind it.
Right. And let him do what he do. So that way you can become a certain person. And maybe if it's meant, you'll get back. Or however, that relationship will come back. But yeah, it's so much.
But I think that's the beauty of the unlikely ambassador. Understand your difference. Know you're different. But know that you've been called by the Lord. And know that you're not by yourself. There's a community. And what makes the unlikely ambassador different than the regular? They now understand their purpose, and they're fueled by faith.
I love it. Fueled by faith. We're going to end right there. That's a beautiful way to end it. Thank you so much, Elizabeth Lafall. Ooh, breaking this equipment, the unlikely ambassador, guys. Go check her out. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Instagram, all that. Catch my interview on her podcast next month in May. And we're going to see a lot more of you. We got to come by, come hang out anytime you want to. I feel like we're just getting started. Like we was getting into something right now, but that'll be the next one.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Thanks.
He Speakers out. Thank you, Lamar. We shout out to Lamar in the building behind the scenes. Didn't want to say nothing. Didn't have no questions for us. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.